This is a crazy story that I'm not sure a lot of people heard about. There was a man in the Bronx that was previously convicted of manslaughter, and he has been charged with strangling to death a Bronx mother. This guy that you see on my screen, his name is Asun Thomas, 46 years old. That is actually from a surveillance camera that actually captured the images of him. So I'm thankful that we have cameras, because you know what? If we did not, there's a lot of things that we wouldn't actually be able to find out, okay? But he's charged with strangling a Bronx mother whose 2 young children were left alone with her lifeless body in their apartment for more than 24 hours. Now, even that hit me a little bit different, because I said, well, damn. I didn't find out until later on in the story, as I was doing my research, that she didn't just have 2 children. She actually had, well, it was reported that she had 5, but I think they actually said that she has 6 kids. 6 kids at 40 years old. That's a lot of kids. I don't care how you slice it. That is a lot of kids coming from the human body, okay? Another thing that also concerned me is if you had 6 kids, then that means that some of them probably have to have at least some type of range on their age. So I'm assuming that there probably are some older kids in that mix, especially with her being 40 years old. So I'm assuming she probably started having kids either in her late teens or early 20s, meaning some of those kids probably have a little bit of age on them. So it also makes me think, how were these 2 young children left alone for 24 hours and nobody checked on them? Nobody said anything. Like, I just find it very weird. I don't know what their living situation is, okay? But all I know is that fool that y'all see on my screen right there, his name is spelled A-S-U-N, when it probably should be spelled A-S-S-U-N, but it's A-S-U-N-T-H-O-M-A-S, Asun Thomas, 46 years old, from Brooklyn. He turned himself in to the police on Christmas Eve, a day after New York Police Department released his image from a surveillance video and appealed for the public's help in finding him. Okay, so there was a lot of pressure put. So shout out to the police. Thomas was booked on a charge of murder in connection with the October killing of 40-year-old Luz, which is spelled L-U-Z, Perez, P-E-R-E-Z, a mother of 5 from the Bronx. But I found out that she's actually a mother of 6. Now, I don't know which one is completely accurate, but I found 2 different things for this particular information. Let me also give a shout out to my brother EDJ17, who also just joined the channel membership. Not only does he donate, but he joined the channel membership to further show support. And I want to thank you, and as well as everybody else, for continuing to show support for our channel. And thank you so much for that. Perez was found dead at her home in the Belmont neighborhood when police responded to a 911 call on the morning of October 13th. So this was a few months ago. Now, police said that the mother was discovered dead in her bed by her 2 youngest children. That's why I said, where are the other children? How do you send stories? Email address is right here, theafcmatters@gmail.com. If you guys have similar stories, remember, only send me stories if it has something to do with children or abuse with children or a child that was murdered, because that's primarily what we focus in. If it's adults, I tend to kind of pass on a lot of those stories, but email address is right here, and it's also in the description box for anything that you need me for, all in the description box of every video. The children had been in the apartment with their mother's corpse for 24 hours, during which time they ate peanut butter sandwiches before her 5-year-old son called for help, according to the news. So here's what happened. The children discovered her dead body, and the children were ages 2 years old and 5 years old. So they were the 2 youngest, who alerted someone coming into the building to the situation by shouting out the front window. So they were yelling out the window trying to get help. And also, if you guys would do me a favor and click that thumbs up. I know it's Christmas, and there might not be a lot of people up and expecting a stream. So if y'all would, make sure you guys click that thumbs up. It'll help share our stream and let other people know that we're live, if you would. So thank you to everybody that's already done so. The initial report that the victim was stabbed with a screwdriver, which would have been, boy, that would have, man, wow. That would have been harsh, a screwdriver. but an autopsy concluded that Perez's death was by strangulation. So she was strangled to death. Now here's the kicker. Here's a major problem. 40-year-old Luz Perez was married. I'm going to read that again because that's going to make this even further complicated. The news reported that Luz Perez, 40 years old, was married. Now, why is that significant? Because I'll tell you here in a minute. According to her own daughter, she had an order of protection against her husband, and she claims, despite the order, the husband would visit her from time to time. Yep. How about that? If we got 71 thumbs up, I at least need us to have at least 100 thumbs up. I know not a lot of people are donating or anything like that, so I always ask if you're not able to do that, then at least donate by way of just clicking the thumbs up. That's free, and it doesn't take a lot of energy to just look down and be like, oh crap, I haven't clicked the thumbs up. Just click the thumbs up. I know y'all hate hearing me say it, but please click the thumbs up. It is helpful to me. She was married, and she had an order of protection against her own husband. That is very significant because it further lets us know that there was more bullcrap surrounding her, especially with the fact that I found out that she has a total of like 5 or 6 kids. Okay? And the fact that she would allow him to violate this order, which also means the fact that she allowed criminal behavior around her children. I know that there are people that might know Luz Perez that might not like what I had to say about that, but oh, it's going to get worse. If you thought you were pissed off, it's about to get worse. Thank you to Jimmy D, who just hit me up on Cash App and said Merry Christmas to the AFC. Jimmy D, thank you. You're always showing support. Thank you. Let me give a shout out to Mom's Fur Baby. She is in the building. I hope she is feeling better. You guys put her hands up in the chat for Mom's Fur Babies. Merry Christmas, AFC family. She is in the building. Okay? Now, let's move on. When Thomas surrendered to the police on Tuesday, he told them he lived in a halfway house for homeless people in Brooklyn because, obviously, he is a parolee, meaning he just got out of prison. Records indicate that the suspect was released on parole in 2016 after serving 16 years of a 20-year sentence for the 2000 manslaughter conviction. Police sources say Thomas has a history of violence against women. Now, what I want to do is because y'all have heard of this thing called the no snitch culture, right? I'm sure a lot of you people have heard that. Y'all have heard me talk about this before. This thing called the hypo culture. Now, some people might wonder, well, what is the hypo culture, DJ? We've heard you talk about it, but can you explain it to us again? Well, sure, I'd be happy to. Hypoculture is the fact that I know that people do not want to come out and talk and tell us what really happened. So what you're going to lead us to do is we're going to look at the facts and the evidence and the things that we have before us, and we're going to make our own conclusions as to what we believed happened. That doesn't mean that's what happened, but I'm going to tell you what I think. How many people out there want to hear what DJ Just Jay thinks? Huh? How many of y'all out there want y'all to how many of y'all want me to tell y'all what I believe caused this woman's death? Anybody want to hear that? I think you might be interested to hear this. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. That's exactly where we're going with this. Because in my opinion, I don't believe that the mother is infallible. I don't think that most people that end up in these situations are infallible. I think that you always have to put people in a position where they are held accountable for getting themselves in these situations, okay? Here we go. It remains unknown whether Asun Thomas knew Perez before the killing. No signs of forced entry were found at her home. That is huge. I'm going to read that again because I know you guys are about 30 seconds behind me. It remains unknown whether Asun Thomas knew Luz Perez before the killing. No signs of forced entry were found at her home. Okay? So one would have to wonder, How did he have such easy access to a home if they did not find that he broke into this house? First and foremost, I always ask, why lose and why this particular house? To me, this type of thing is not random, okay? Especially when you do what I call a crime of passion. That type of thing usually is based on some type of dealing with that person. You have a relationship with that person, okay? So let me clarify about what I mean. Excuse my language, by the way, there is no fucking way that this man did this to a random woman without knowing who she was. Absolutely no way. There's no way this was random. She knew him. Okay? Again, this is a crime of passion. He strangled her to death with his hands. That's usually when somebody has deep feelings about someone. So my guess is that the mother was sleeping with this man and just wanted to stop messing with him. She was just like, you know what? I'm cool on you, bruh. I'm moving on. And he didn't want that. So when she abandoned him emotionally, he lashed out in the only way that he knows how. Keep in mind, he did 16 years in jail when he was sentenced to 20 years in jail. He's been out only 3 years, so jail is primarily what his mentality is set up for. He lashed out in the only way that he knows how, and he lashed out like a criminal. He has a criminal history, and he is proven to be unfit to live in society. How many of y'all agree with that? A lot of y'all are saying that she let him in. I believe that she did. I believe that she knew him, and I believe that she knew him on a very, very, very personal level. Okay? Don't lose me. Follow me on this. Also, I have no sympathy for the mother, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this mother chose to have her children around this dangerous criminal. There is no way that you did not know that this man was a criminal. So whether she were a friend, whether she were a lover, whether she were a confidant, whether she were just trying to help him out, whatever the case is, when you have children and when you have especially this number of children, you cannot afford to put your children in harm's way just because it's something that you want to go do. Right? Just because it's something that you feel, which is why I always believe that it's a dangerous thing for women to only raise children by themselves, because I believe that there has to be balance and protection. Those two things, say it with me. Balance and protection. You have to have balance, which is generally why you want to have a man in the household to be able to relay things and talk to him and be like, hey, do you think this is a good idea? Protection. The first line of protection for your home is supposed to be your man. Nobody ever expects for women to be on the front lines out there giving their lives up. That's a man's job. Most real men will tell you we are there to build and protect and provide. Right? How many women believe what I'm saying out there? Do y'all agree? It's men's job to protect. Balance and protection. Thank you. So don't get mad. Let me tell more of my opinion. I don't have any sympathy for the mom because she chose to have her children around this dangerous criminal. This narrative is all too common in the black community, and y'all know that hood chicks love hood dick, right? There are no thugs that are going without having a woman or a mother at their side that is protecting these type of dudes, promoting these type of dudes, lying for these type of dudes, and sleeping with them. Me personally, I don't know of any thugs in the United States of America that are single and don't have women clamoring for them. Did I tell a lie somewhere? Is there something that I said that was factually inaccurate? Best of Small said, why would you open your doors to your children to some stranger you just met at a bar? I agree. Thank you. I do agree with that. I'm going to say that again. I don't know of any thugs in America that are single and do not have women clamoring for them. How about that? But I do know a lot of good brothers out there that are single and chilling and trying to pursue women that don't want them. But these type of dudes have no problem still getting women, even though these type of men have nothing to bring to the table. Have nothing. No job, no aspirations, no nothing. He was staying at a homeless shelter practically. At a halfway house. But I also want y'all to notice this about this story. I want y'all to notice, go and look at all the articles, and there is no mention of him stealing anything, nor did he physically harm the children that we know of. Okay? I would love to see a witness statement from the children, because I can guarantee you that the children knew who this dude was. Ask them. I would love to hear what they have to say about this, because I can guarantee y'all that they were probably very familiar with that dude. Now, I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, but we absolutely have to start asking logical questions to find out why bad things are happening, because these things are not random. Lastly, that dude Thomas, Asun Thomas, is due in Bronx criminal court on December the 30th, which is in 5 days, and Perez's family has since taken custody of the children, which is a good thing, and I hope that they take good care of these kids. Let me go ahead and show you guys the news videos, because there were a couple out there. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. T. Hill said he was already a criminal. Yes, he was. They said that he was convicted of manslaughter and he was sentenced to 20 years in jail, but he only did 16 years in jail. Hood chicks love hood dick. Absolutely. Let's go ahead and get started.
2 young children in the Bronx made a horrifying discovery: their mother murdered inside their apartment. Investigators believe an attacker repeatedly stabbed 40-year-old Luz Perez in the bedroom of her home in Belmont. That assailant still has not been caught. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang is in Belmont tonight. Lucy?
Well, Sandra, crime scene investigators are still inside this first-floor apartment behind me as detectives investigate the brutal murder of a 40-year-old mother. Officials tell us the killer left her 2 innocent children to face the shocking nightmare. Hard to contemplate the horror inside this Bronx apartment. Authorities report the victim's young children, only 2 and 4 years old, were left to fend for themselves after their mother was savagely murdered. We understand they banged on their first-floor front window, desperate for help, until they got the attention of a stranger outside walking by.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Wow. It's so sad.
8 o'clock Sunday morning, police were called to the Belmont section of the Bronx. Inside 519 East 187th Street, we're told they found 40-year-old Luz Perez with multiple puncture wounds to her head, neck, and body.
Okay, so that's where the screwdriver comes in. They said that she had multiple puncture wounds, but they're saying that she died of strangulation. God, dog, that's messed up. Okay, so that further lets me know, and that confirms my theory that this man knew her, and that he was pissed off in a way where he was emotionally hurt by her, probably behind rejection. If we could, like, I know we got more people watching. If y'all could, can we try to shoot for 180 thumbs up? I know we have about that many people watching, but let me let y'all hear this again. So he poked her the hell up with a screwdriver and then choked her out. There is no way that he did not know her. That's a crime of passion.
They found 40-year-old Luz Perez with multiple puncture wounds to her head, neck, and body. Whoever killed the mother clearly attacked her again and again.
I feel bad because they took a human being's life, especially a woman. Instead of protecting her, someone took her life.
As police removed evidence from the apartment Sunday night, neighbors were left without answers. Just a few doors down from the crime scene are memorial candles from yet another tragedy. Now a 40-year-old mother is gone and her innocent children are left to suffer the trauma.
I'm left clueless just like everybody else, left in the dark.
Still no arrest at this hour.
All right, thank you very much, Trisha Takanawa. Let's go ahead and go on to our next video here. We got a couple more. And again, when you guys come in, just click that thumbs up. Let's keep it popping.
A tragic case in the Bronx. Children ran for help after finding their mother unresponsive. The woman was later pronounced dead. Police now say there was no indication of forced entry, and they say the family had only recently moved into the apartment in the Belmont section.
They said no sign of forced entry. Forced entry. Listen again.
Was later pronounced dead. Police now say there was no indication of forced entry, and no indication of forced entry, and they say the family had only recently moved into the apartment in the Belmont section. 40-year-old Luz Perez was found Sunday morning in the building on East 187th Street. The medical examiner is determining the exact cause of death. No arrests have been made.
Now to a tragic situation in the Bronx where police say children found their 40-year-old mother unresponsive and ran for help. Police say Luz Perez was found dead with stab wounds inside her apartment on East 187th Street in the Belmont neighborhood. The medical examiner still needs to determine an official cause of death. So far, no arrests. Now to a tragic situation.
The kids in the window said that their mom is dead.
After hearing those devastating words, this 13-year-old, a child himself, could only do but so much. We are concealing his identity.
I went out the door, I knocked, no one responded, so I was like a little scared.
And so were the children, ages 2 and 5, left to fend for themselves after finding their own mother dead inside a bedroom at their apartment here on East 187th Street in the Belmont section of the Bronx Saturday morning.
I called my aunt, she came down. She was trying to open the door, but she couldn't. And then after that, like 2 minutes later,
I haven't seen no champion slippers in a while, man. Shout out to the young man with the champion slippers. I see you, bro, getting it in.
Door, but she couldn't. And then after that, like 2 minutes later, she called 911.
While police continue to piece together exactly what happened to their 40-year-old mother, word about her.
Set Zebra, great question, said, do I have a picture of her? I scoured the internet and I could not find a picture of Luz at all. I could not find a single picture of the mother that was murdered. Luz Perez, couldn't find it. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody shared about it. And maybe they're trying to keep it private. I don't know. But I could not find a single picture of her anywhere.
Apartment here on East 187th Street in the Belmont section of the Bronx Saturday morning.
And since they talk about the fact that she had a order of protection against her husband, who is her husband and where is he? I would love to find out why there was an order of protection and where the hell is he at? Where's the father? Thank you, Daquan, for asking that.
I called my aunt, she came down. She was trying to open the door, but she couldn't. And then after that, like 2 minutes later, she called 911.
While police continue to piece together exactly what happened to their 40-year-old mother, word about her death is spreading quickly through this neighborhood.
It must have been horrible to find your mom in those conditions. They're little children. Why they have to live like that? Why they have to face that?
Lena?
I agree. Black Hebrew Israelite said he shanked her like he was in prison. He did 16 years. Y'all know what they call that. They call that a banger. Whenever you get a ice pick and you wrap it up and you hold on to it so you can have some grip and you poke somebody with it. So it sounds like that's probably what he did, was he resorted to his prison mentality. So I agree with you, and thank you for your $2 super chat, by the way, brother. Thank you so much for that.
Word about her death is spreading quickly through this neighborhood.
It must have been horrible to find your mom in those conditions. They're little children. Why they have to live like that? Why they have to face that?
Lena Sanchez was drawn here thinking about Perez's children. She says the only thing she could do is place this single balloon at their apartment window.
I was just praying for the families, praying for the children, that they go in good hands.
And those children definitely need prayers. In the meantime,
thank you for calling it out. Kelly said that it seems like she attracts violent men. Her husband was violent, and this man was clearly violent, who has a history against violence against women. So very good call.
there was a history of domestic violence at that apartment, but
it does sound like ex-boyfriend rage. That's what I'm saying, and that's why I drew my conclusion. I'm not going to read through that whole thing again, but that's why I said what I said. I might not be right, but it sounds correct though.
Police say the father of the children, he is not a suspect at this point. They are still looking into leads, still looking into exactly how this mother died. Back to the children. Well, right now they're staying with family members. For now, we're live in the Claremont section of the Bronx. Nicole Johnson, Pix 11 News.
We got one more video, so here we go.
Well, a family heartbroken after a Bronx mother was found dead inside her bedroom, and police are still trying to figure out who's responsible. News 12 The Bronx reporter Joanna Hernandez has the latest from Belmont. Joanna.
Kurt, this remains an active investigation to find who killed 40-year-old Luz Perez. The super tells us that she had just moved to this first-floor apartment about 2 months ago. A gruesome discovery. Officials say it was one of her young kids who found her lifeless Sunday morning. When authorities arrived, they noticed Luz suffered injuries to her head and body. The crime scene unit spent several hours gathering evidence as detectives worked to find any leads to her killer. We know Luz was a mother to 6 children, her daughter talking to us yesterday about her tragic loss. She tells us her mom moved to this apartment along 187th Street and Bathgate Avenue with her 5-year-old son and 3-year-old daughter. The family now seeking answers. According to her, Luz had been having ongoing problems with her husband and even had an order of protection against him. She claims despite the order, he would still visit. Police have not said if the husband is being questioned. Locals passing by in shock.
I feel like it's really scary because it's just like you're thinking, oh, I'm just home, I'm with my kids. You're not really thinking like you should be fearful, you should be scared, and then something happens like that. And
why she got that bull crap on her head? She like a mind my language. Why does she have that on her head? And they say that they're not, right now they're not questioning the husband. Why not? They should question everybody.
And 3-year-old daughter. The family now seeking answers. According to her, Luz had...
I think you should question everybody. That's probably why they don't know enough information. Because if you let me lead the investigation, I'm questioning everybody.
Had been having ongoing problems with her husband and even had an order of protection against him. She claims despite the order, he would still visit. Police have not said if the husband is being questioned. Locals passing by in shock.
I feel like it's really scary because it's just like you're thinking, oh, I'm just home, I'm with my kids. You're not really thinking like you should be fearful, you should be scared, and then something happens like that and you're just like, nobody was there to like help you, or you don't even know what to do. You're not thinking that it's going to turn into like...
I'm just saying, I don't understand the point of that. I don't. Like, it's just, they just refuse to groom their hair. I don't understand. So if you're not groomed, then just don't be on camera. Why is that hard? My goodness.
Like, you're thinking, oh, I'm just home, I'm with my kids. You're not really thinking like you should be fearful, you should be scared, and then something happens like that and you're just like, nobody was there to like help you, or you don't even know what to do. You're not thinking that it's going to turn into like one of these kind of situations, and then it does.
Loved ones now remembering this Bronx mother. A vigil stands steps away from her home. Dozens of candles have been placed here. As of now, no arrests have been made. In Belmont, Joanna Hernandez, News 12.
Of course, that's early information. They've already made an arrest. And again, the guy that they arrested is this guy right here. That is Asun Thomas. And it sounds like he's the guy that did this. But again, I'm going to remind you guys of a couple of points because I took notes. Here we go. Listen to me again. They said that there was no way of knowing if Thomas knew Perez before he killed her. But also, there were no signs of forced entry into her home. To me, that means that she let him in. If she let him in, that would mean she had a certain level of trust for him. But then again, I want you guys to also notice the fact that the husband had an order of protection, but she would allow the husband to violate that order to come and visit her on a regular basis. So it doesn't really seem like she takes criminal behavior very seriously around her children. That's an indication that this mother put herself in this situation. Again, I don't think this is random. This is a crime of passion, because he took a screwdriver and poked her up as if he was in prison multiple times between her neck and her head, and then choked her out on top of that. A crime of passion is when somebody feels really, really deep feelings about somebody that affects them on an emotional level. I believe that the mother was probably sleeping with him. It's not far-fetched, because his mom had between 5 to 6 kids. That's a whole lot of kids. That's a whole lot of dick loving. I'm just saying, I don't put it past her that she was probably sleeping with this bum ass nigga right here. You get me? She probably abandoned him on an emotional level, and he lashed out just like he did while he was in prison. And I hope that they take the book and throw it at him. He does not need to be out in the world anymore. I think that's a wrap for him. He has proven that he is not going to be a stable individual. It's sad for the kids, because I hope that the kids turn out to be something great. They're at least going to get an opportunity, and I am thankful the fact that the children survived. Can we get a prayer hand emoji in the chat for that? At least the kids survived, right? I'm thankful for that, because normally when a person is that messed up in the head, they generally will make even worse decisions, especially when little kids are around. And y'all know, if y'all watch my channel long enough all year long, then you know that more times than none, that these type of dudes usually do harm the children as well. Okay? But again, I hope that they release more information about this story. No, I don't think that the mother deserved what she got, but I do believe that she put herself in this position. Okay? Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death. If you're going to mess with thugs and criminals and people that are breaking the law and show no regard for the law, then it is not a smart thing for you to have your children around those kind of people. Your children cannot speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves against the tyranny of their caretakers. In this situation, I'm just glad that I don't know, that he just didn't do anything to the kids. His next court date is in 5 days of the date of this video. So that's on December the 30th of 2019. And I guess we'll just see what happens. But the family is taking custody of the kids, and I hope that they take good care of those kids and just move on. The mom put herself in a bad position, and I don't feel any sympathy for her. And I hope that you guys understand where I'm coming from, because what I want to do is use this story as a cautionary tale for us to do better. We have an amazing group of ladies here in the AFC, and I want to give you guys a shout out. We have an amazing group of ladies that understand that this type of behavior has to stop. There are a group of ladies out there that want to raise up the level of consciousness of what our sisters and brethren should be out here doing in the streets, and we want to lead by example. Shout out to all my fathers, my parents, my married people, my ladies, and my fellas, man. This your boy DJ Just J. I'm signing out. We're the AFC, where we advocate for children first. We'll see you guys on the next stream. Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, Happy whatever. I love you guys from my heart to yours. Thank you so much for listening. That's the end of the stream. Peace.